Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Kel Matibula once again, doing her magic of sharing her inner thoughts and her experiences in this world. As of course, I have traveled in different parts of the world, so I think my experiences are quite amazing and also kind of unique, especially for those who are like me. Remember, I'm representing the ones like me in this world, those who are kind of robbed of their inner power, and how I can, how, my story is how to share my experiences to realize that no one can steal anything from you. Of course, they can steal it for a little while and you live under fear, but how much you fight to get out of that fear, that's the key. And the only key is forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. So today, the story is forgiveness within. That's the key power of this conversation that we're having today. So once again, as I say, I'm still new and I'm kind of shy. Sometimes you'll experience that, you guys. Yesterday we touched base on the power of forgiveness, how important forgiveness is in our world. Being who I am and being so passionate about the story of living in this world and trying to be trying to tap into the essence of the secrecy of this world. And because you gotta know, you guys, that there's something bigger than the blah 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 that we find in this world, and the blah 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 blahs that we find in this world. When we are vulnerable and we don't know who we are, and we are not taught about responsibility of self-finding, we can follow and we remain being followers. And as we remain being followers, we are suddenly moved away from who we were supposed to be. And my being in this world has always been observe, analyze, and breathe in what you find as the truth. And the truth, it's not the truth for you to go share it out there and say, this is my truth. The truth itself, knowing, that's the only truth you can never experience and master. Because sometimes we focus on the truth and we then take the truth and try to embed it into other people's life, secret life. And everybody has a secret coating that they understand their truth for themselves. And if you understand the truth for yourself, so you can understand the secrecy of this world. And the secrecy of this world is that nobody, nobody is designed to suffer. Suffering, it's not something that it's designed, because of, if you look around you on a daily basis, you see people who are living really well. You see people who are playing as if they're living really well. You see people who are struggling. You see people who are sleeping on the street. So actually, you've got a movie on a daily basis, on every second of every minute, that it's played to you for you to choose which character you want to play. I talk about Hollywood. Hollywood is one of the world that is created in front of us. And we are paying to watch the Hollywood world. And the Hollywood world had tried to redefine the art of living by creating their own, their own meditative state, city, and community that would say, we live to strive. We live to get from you guys. Our job, we will create the reality, and you'll pay for our reality, and we'll show you all different kinds of reality of the world, from killing to sexuality to magical world to so-called beauty. And this beauty they have taken it to another dimension. Hello, hi. Okay, I still don't know how to communicate on the other side. I'll learn that in the future. So your story as a human being, what is your character? Now, remember, today it is about the power of forgiveness within so that you can heal the inner wounds. There is nothing in this world, coming from South Africa and being in the United Kingdom today, and having to live. I've lived in Belgium, Holland. It's my other city where it's kind of my third home, and I've got Paris. I can move from one city to another within a blink of an eye, because I understood that I had to create a secret code that I was gonna, attach it with my wound. With my air that I breathe. That's the only challenge you have. There is no standard of education that can overpower the power of your breath, your wind. The wind that you breathe, the air that you create around you. That's your systematic power that is connected with your inner governor, who governs you and who gives you your right to be closer to God, because of each and every one of us. It's created in God's image. As I said, I don't want to go into religion so much, because of today religion has been created to keep us more as puppets. The more we follow these people who come and say God, 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 the more they really take us away from really connecting with our inner wind, which is the God that we see and breathe every second of every minute. So how much hats do you have? Who have had you, who have scarred your inner power, your inner truth, your inner foundation of really claiming your rights of living? Because each and every one of us has a right to live. So I always use my story, because I find that my story has been such an amazing journey of, sometimes I would like to call it a fairy tale that a young woman who had went through under so much scrutiny, who have been exposed to the essence of pain from the day one she was born, not knowing her mother from the age of 3 months until, of course, today, not knowing her father, being exposed to the biggest violence you might call, the one who have been raped from left to right, the one who was taught that she was ugly, the one who so much people did their level best to try to steal education from her, because they realized that there was a light. I remember at the age of 14, I ran away from home, as I said, so-called home, which it wasn't home, but of course it was a home because of my great-grandpa and my great-grandmom, So having to go back there, trying to fix the elements and trying to explain why did I run away, and finding my great-grandmom still calling my name after 3 years of running away. And I remember having discussions with the man who was ahead of that family, and asking him, why did you treat me the way you had treated me? And the man expressing himself. And one thing that he had said that really fascinated me, and at this age I was about, as I ran away from home from the age of 14, having to go back again, coming from, of course, my father, I ran to my father. And this man saying to me, you know why we didn't take you to school? We didn't take you to school because we knew that one day you'll be successful and you'll run away from us. Wasn't that amazing? And from that moment, for me, these people, when they were doing all these things, it was a university. Pain, all the things that I went through in those moments was for me to understand that what you are going through, Carol, it's an education of understanding when the mind is not in line with itself from others, how much are they showcasing it to you? And after this man said that, the only thing that I thought at that moment, I remember me looking down and looking up on him and thinking to myself, oh, so you always thought I was the best. From the age of 17 already, when this man said that, I don't know if in his mind was he trying to break me, or was he trying, but when he said that was a wow moment for me. And at that moment, forgiveness came, actually. I looked at him and I felt, oh, poor old man. You were actually trying to close the doors because you thought I was going to be the best. So you knew that I was created as a best. And from that, inside of me, that man gave me back my education. For him to say, we knew that you were going to be the best at the age of 17. That's why we didn't take you to school. Then I knew that, my God, I'm just 17. How much am I going to run to that best that this man has mentioned? And I remember as well one of my uncles from that place, which I adored very much, who always stood on my side. And I remember him saying to them that, you see this Carol that you are abusing so much, one day you'll wish that you never did. So our light and our true foundation of who we are, I care from a very, very early age. That's why when you try to find yourself, when you're trying to define your art, when you look at the world at large, you don't look at the world and say to the world owes you. The world owes you nothing. You own yourself the years. How much have you listened since you were young? How much bad things happened, but through those bad things, amazing words came out. Were you only listening to the bad things? Because of through this, as these people were saying this, it wasn't a good feeling at that moment. But my ears were to select good things that were gonna mentor me. Because I think my governor, I say to people in this world, we have our inner governors. And our governors, it is the people that God gave us. Some of, have you heard of having your guardian angels? I believe in my guardian angels very much. I say to me, my most highly president in this world, it's my inner governor. The secret, that shadow when I walk, wherever I go, it follows me. I don't take that shadow for granted. Not at all. Because that shadow, it is the only president who can break even the most high steel doors that they say these doors would never open for a person such as you. My governor said, Carol, there's no unlimited doors in this world for you, because I listened. So when we look outside and think that other people have abused us, other people have put us under scrutiny of captivity, and we keep on singing that song, we keep on, especially there's talks of mine that I do on a weekly basis when I have time, because sometimes you would see me, guys, and sometimes I'll disappear as I travel a lot. These discussions are based especially to my Black brothers and sisters, and of course with everyone. Now, when I say they're based to us, is that in this world, the only way for us to free ourselves, it's not to meditate the song of what has happened in the past. It is to meditate the song of what has happened to you. What have you discovered? What had pain taught you? How special are you? I think I'm special, and I think I'm special for me. I love Carol Matebula. I love what this woman has went through, and I love what this woman has prevailed from the day one she entered. Remember, the strength of your journey didn't begin from when you became aware. The strength of your journey began when you entered the belly of the uterus of your mom. Tiny little thing. No one knew where you came from. You are a secret. You are in your secret world. Have you noticed that when we talk about secret society, everybody gets so secret society? What does that mean? Now, the word secret, it is something that captures the essence and the attention of a human, because we are indeed of secrecy. No one, it's known where they come from, and no one, it's known where they're going. So when we are busy with, they have to do that, and we sing and we share the past videos of strangling, of the horrifying things of those who didn't know themselves had done to try to make others not to know themselves. The more we share these stories, the more we meditate on not defining our inner power. So I'm one of those, and I say to people, I was scarred, and I was scarred by different worlds. I was scarred by the white world, I was scarred by the Black world. But you know what it is? I'm happy that they did that. And I'm happy that the white man, he is what he is. And when we say a white man, are we talking about general? We can't generalize. As in this world, as I've traveled, I said, I've been to India, I've been to Kuwait, I've been to the Middle East, and I've had stories. My God, if I have to write a book of a tale of a human in this world, that would be the most amazing book. Everybody had came to my doorstep. Chinese, Indians, Japanese, white, black, all people had came and shared their tale, and ever so innocently beautiful within their eyes, within their soul. So who am I to stand today and say, you know what, a white person has done that? The moment I say the white person has done that, those who have quickly fingers of pinpointing, they haven't done nothing to themselves. You know, I find that sometimes we even talk about having a home where we can stay. If they can only give me a home, they have to give us what they have done into the past. Of course, there are those who are living like that. We've got people who are not fair in this world, who treat others not fair. But remember, when you're treating other people not fair, you do not understand what fairness is towards yourself. Because when you treat others with fairness, you know what does the fairness mean. You know how warm it is towards yourself. So how much do we have to forgive so that we can heal our wounds within? Who are you? What do you want to accomplish? What kind of tale do you want to live in this world? I am a tale of redefining the art of education. That was my secret coating that I whisper gently to God. And who's the God? The God, it's the air I breathe that gives me life of every second of every minute. I spoke once, and the laws of universe. I love the laws of attraction. Who I am today has been created by the laws of attraction. And the laws of attraction is communication with God on a daily basis. That remember, the air you breathe, it's not just air. It's actually where God resides. And you can tap in there any time of any minute when you want to tap in. So who I am has been created by those laws of attraction. I knew that I had to redefine the art of education. I knew that education was a systematic and a story tale that was so clearly lined up to believe that if you do not go through their system, you will never be anything in this world. And everybody does it. A white person does it. A black person does it. Everyone who went through education with not self-understanding and self-knowing, they make others feel like they are nothing in this world. And that's how they reside. That's how they live powerfully. Because when you make others to feel that they are nobody, so you take their body. Nobody means that we're going to claim your body for ourselves. And you're just going to be a spirit that runs around without your guidance map. Because our body is a map of our spirit. Now, when someone says you are nobody, they're actually taking away your transportation of your spirit. God, they take your transportation of your spirit and say you are nobody. And secretly, we agree within ourselves because we don't value ourselves. So today, the message is that when you forgive, so you heal the wounds. And forgiveness, it's not only to those, also it's to yourself. That how is your mind? What are the voices you share with your governor? How much is how aware are you with your governor? How much do you wake up in the morning and say, Governor, yesterday I didn't have energy. I wanted to do so much, but I didn't have energy. Where were you? Please be there with me all the time, because sometimes this world can be so hard that without you on my side, no one can guide me. Speak to your shadow self as if you're speaking to your how do you say it, to your mentor. My mentor, it's my shadow. My bodyguard, it's my governor, who is the shadow and the governor. By understanding that there's a shadow, I understand that there's a governor. By understanding that there's a governor, I then respect my skeleton. Because of my skeleton, that's the one that's gonna come and present itself to the world and say, hello, my name is Carol Matebula, and this is what I would like to do. Da da ta ta ta. Without no question. Now, when you're not aware of your shadow self, your governor, it's not aware of you at all. And your skeleton collapse. You find yourself like this when you speak to people, everything that you do, because of you have frozen your spirit to prison. You have imprisoned your skeleton. Be aware of your shadow self. Awaken your governor. Aha! Guide the skeleton. Let the skeleton be known that the skeleton, it came here to live, and it came here to leave its footprint. No matter what they say, no matter what are the happenings, because the happenings are happening. As I'm talking to you right now, of course I go through the happenings. But then I come out and say, shadow self, I can't breathe. The journey has been a little bit too much. And the shadow self, take a moment, Carol. Me and the governor, we shall speak to try to clarify the situation for you. At this present moment, skeleton, we know that it's a little bit difficult. Take a break. And you surrender to these two power forces. And once these two power forces has done their work, it could be an hour, it could be a day, it could be a 2 day, it could be a 3 days. Surrender to the two forces. And these two forces are the ones that are in line with your ancestors. Because as they are working, suddenly you hear a voice of, oh, my great grandma. Oh, I remember when she said this. And suddenly, as they are talking, the melodies of what it is that is powerful beyond a human world takes place. And suddenly you hear another one who spoke when you were about 3 years old. And then when they're done, they disappear. And so your skeleton is awakened again and you are ready to leave. So my story today is that there is nobody who will repair us as Black nation. There is nobody who would give us understanding that for our future, we shouldn't classify life through success and failing, because this is just a small little wedding of a human being, man's world, systematic, that is created to steal from each and every one of us in this world. It is a systematic that is created to steal each and every one of us in this world. Now, be the one who leads. Be the leader. Decide today and say, you know what? I decide to lead. I decide to lead myself. I decide to take a moment and ask myself 5 questions. What do I think I am really in this world? Who am I? Look at your surrounding for a second. That little home that you have, that big home that you have, and ask yourself, am I homing my shadow self? Do I have a space in my home for my shadow self? Do I have a space in my home for my governor, so that these two people can be able to connect to the secret world that I don't know? Only them, they knew from the day I entered the belly of my mom, sending me to the uterus, through the billions of sperms that all of them were running to the uterus. But you see the art of nature, you see the science of nature. All the sperms are running, but nature, because of it's always on your side, nature is always there to protect you, can only select what you can handle. And every situation that it's in your hands, you can handle. Any situation, every situation, it's given to you because you can handle it. And remember how unique you are. Yes, we might sit there and say, yes, I've experienced that. Oh, yes, me too, I've experienced that. But you experience things in different minutes, of seconds, of hours. So that makes you very, very unique. That makes you actually one of the puzzles that came in this world to put balance. You are sent in this world to be something magnificent. You are not sent here to be your name that you were given to. You're not sent in this world to be the daughter of your mom or the daughter of your father, or the one who goes to school and acquires some certain high grades and high standard of blah, 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 old-fashioned nonsense that never change. I find that the world is so boring that it lives under the same words. I'm so sorry I'm going to say this, because as I know that there's something beyond us. But there's this thing that we are so much bombarded with, saying that you have to confess your sin to Jesus so that you can repent. And I say, what sins? What sins are they? Everything that you have ever done was to discover yourself. And that's the thing as well. I don't blame myself for all the experiences that I have overwhelmed, because of I didn't know I was still finding myself. I never stand there and say, Carol, I'm ashamed for that, or I'm guilty for that. No. I don't allow that, because my spirit, it's like the ocean. It's like the deepest ocean, ever flowing, sometimes to the high tides, and sometimes to the low tides, and sometimes it flashes against the rocks. And when it flashes against the rocks, and suddenly the tide comes down. But when it flashes against the rocks, the water does not blame itself that, wow, how painful that was. It continues flowing. So you are a flow of energy that ever flows to understand your inner peace, God, and especially your inner peace. I say to people, we deformed our face by being angry. We deform our eyes. And I say, eyes are very important. You gotta look at your eyes. You gotta look at your tongue. By always focusing, go to the mirror and look at your eyes. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you realize that, God, I think I'm very ugly, you've got to do something to bring back the eyes to alignment, because the eyes gets out of its own position where they were supposed to be, because of hearing, always hearing. And suddenly they miss focus of you, and they only focus to the same. And now when you look at yourself, you see ugly because of your eyes aren't looking at you. The eyes are looking at the happenings around. Politics is one of the things that, as a South African woman, I realized that this weekend I went through a kind of a moment where I was suddenly listening and I hearing all this, South Africa has been a country of, we used to, the riots. I'm that generation that came from the riots. When South Africa was in a mess of self-discovery, of so-called freedom, I was one of those. I think when I entered the riots, I was about 10 years old, 9 years old, where they used to come and throw tear gas in our schools, and kids would come out with their eyes burning, and it was burning so hard, my God, where the elderly would come to us and give us tomatoes, and we'll be rubbing these tomatoes around our faces, and then of course at the end of the day eating the same tomato because of you're young, and seeing people dying in buildings, and dying because of themselves, what they did. They did these petrol bombs where they throw, and while they're throwing, not searching is it everyone out of these buildings. So while we fight, if we do not have a clear systematic of where we're going, this fight of us can backfire on us. So what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that what I have done some people in the past, it is okay. But remember, when the white man had a black woman, that white man will have a white woman in his own neighborhood. A hater is a hater. A hater does not hate you because of you black. Are you aware that there's this word called white crush? I mean, that's that simple as that. So when you're standing there and saying they, we have been singing they for 400 years. So the question today is that let's forgive and move on. And when I say forgive, I'm not saying forgive others. Let's have a systematic of we as black people not judging each other by the continents, not judging each other by where we come from, not judging each other by saying the continent is that. By doing that, we have actually adapted so much other people's way of living, and we live by those standards. So being Black, it means that self-discovery is vital and it's more important today. Look at me today, a woman like me who has went through so much. Look how I live. I choose the standard of living. I choose to live well. I choose to eat well. I choose to have a lovely skin. At the age of 47, going to 48, I look at myself and I say, aren't you looking good? And the story is that I'm going to look good until the day I get out of this world, naturally as I am. That's my story. That's my fight of every day. How? My shadow self and governor and my skeleton. Of course, my mini me, which is my skin, a very small part of mine, embraces these three power forces. So this is a story today. And remember, fight, anger, judgmental will never make you to find your secret coating. You are a coat. I am a coat. And the day I die, that coat will never be found again in this world. Never, never, never. You are a code. What is your secret code? Only you know that code. When you go deep in, really deep in, firstly, please do me a favor. Look at your home. Look how tidy your home is. Look at the dust. My great grandma used to teach me something when I was young. She said to me, Carol, people body dies every day. The Carol today will never be the Carol tomorrow because my cells dies. And as my cell dies, it becomes a dust. Every day I'm a dust. That's why we wash ourselves. Now, as we walk around, our wind moves our hair. As we walk around, people's skins find its way to our homes. When you open your window, you don't open your window only to air. You open your window to DNA of the rest of the world. Now, these DNAs, they can come with different stories in your home. When your home it's not clean and it's not dust free, you are bombarded with the stories of the dead skin cells of others. So my story to you today, to know that you're doing well, look at your home's condition. Doesn't matter where you live. Look at your skin, how shiny your skin is. Look at your eating. Do you just eat because of you have to feel your body? Do you have a moment to sit and taste your food and really taste it? Taste it. When you taste it, you're embracing the silkiness because of we are taste. When you touch yourself, you can feel. Taste is very important. What are the ingredients that have been put in your food? Check yourself. And the ingredients vary with aging. With age, each and every age require a certain diet. Look at your diet and say, have I ever looked at my diet? Has my diet changed as my personnel had changed? Or am I still living by the same coating of what others had taught me to eat? You know, so it's a journey of self-discovery, growth, understanding, and the depths, swimming deeper into the deep ocean of your being. As you came here swimming, you are aware of that? When we entered the belly of our moms, we were swimming. So keep swimming, keep swimming, keep swimming, passing there. And the last thing I'm gonna say today is that as we enter to the belly of our moms, reaching to the uterus, coming out, we are coming back into the other womb, which is the motherly earth womb, ever presented with other sperms. And these sperms are rushing to a certain destination of their own uterus, but uterus of the living that can be touched. So are you aware of the secrecy of the world? Don't make it normal. Don't make it simple. Don't think of yourself as simple one who's just walking and one day waiting to die. Don't look at yourself as the only one who have to acquire education and be better than others while they're driving these cars and living in these big mansions and etc. I've done that. I've been one of those who wanted to live in big houses, who wanted to be in big cars. And I did that and ever finding that it was empty. So I dig deep in and I wanted to find out what is the secrecy. And the secrecy was find yourself and share your world. Let people see the other view, another point of view in the world so that they can try to mold themselves to really deeper understanding their own apartment, that you don't have to pay rent to anyone. It's your own apartment. So thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching. And every day I'm here at 8 o'clock. And I'm also on Instagram where I talk about discovering vegan food at the age of 48 and how vegan food had made me understand my body and heal me and made me again resculptured my body to where I wanted my body to be. So this in Instagram, sometimes it happens at 10 o'clock, sometimes it happens at 11 o'clock. It's either 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock. It's either breakfast or my brunch. So check me as well on Instagram every day at 11. But as I say, sometimes I travel. As next week, as this Saturday, I'm going to Holland. I'm going to be there for at least 8 days. I might be online, I might not be online. But the other week, of course, I'll be back again for more of Carol's observation and Carol understanding of our secret world that is rightfully ours. Remember, discover your coaching. And thank you so much. I shall bow and I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you. God bless.